Righto, so I'm just out camping at the moment. I thought that instead of using the power system in the truck for the last few trips that I've been doing, I'm gonna use the Bluetti new AC60 and B80 battery. Automatically start charging, which is really good. You got your external ports here for your battery. I think this, for anyone new getting into four-wheel driving, I think this is absolutely the way to go. I'm gonna download both of these and we'll see how we go, if there's any different information that's gonna come up. Both charge at the same time. I think Bluetti has stepped up the game when it comes to these little power stations, and I've done a fair few reviews on these things in the past with a few different companies. It just seems like the technology with these things is advancing very quickly. Bluetti now has the best warranty also, but the combination of these two together and the capacity that you have, I think definitely has stepped over most of the competition in this market with the little portable power stations. Okay, so let's take a closer look at these two units. The AC60, so basically the brains of the unit with all your sockets and stuff, your power on and off button. Then you have the B80 battery. So you can actually add another battery if you want, and they're connected via this cable just here. So you connect it from your AC60 to your B80 battery, and then if you want to connect another battery, you can also do that as well. So the AC60's internal battery capacity is 403.2 watt hours. So it's a Life PO4 battery, which is the same in both units, Life PO4 batteries. The unit weighs around 9 kilos, so it's not too bad. So taking a closer look at the AC60, this is by far, I think, one of the best Bluetti units on the market currently, and they just continue to step up the game. The technology and their new release of new products is advancing so fast, but just this one, just the quality of the fit and finish of the plastics, the rubber feet. It's got like this rubber cushioning around the front there. So you actually can get this one wet. You can leave it out in the rain if you wanted to, if you were camping. I've actually left it out in the rain a couple of times running a fridge over the past couple of months, and it's been absolutely fine. So it's got all these rubber covers here on the front to protect it and give it that rating, as well as all your sockets down the front here, protecting them. So it's not meant for like high pressure water, but basically just rain falling on it. Just taking an overall look around the outside of the unit. So you got a fan here on the side. Somehow they've managed to be able to have water go in there and then escape somewhere. I'm not too sure where, but they've figured it out. You got your external ports here for your batteries. So this is your port 1 for the first battery, and then your port 2 for your second battery if you wanted to add that second B80 battery just there. So we'll leave them off. We're going to add them here in a minute. Come around the back, so you've got a light here on the back of the unit. I think I need to turn it on first for that light to work. So you hold this button down, and then your light will light up. So it's just good around camp. It's not too bright. I'll show you here of me using it at night time. Just gives you a nice sort of ambient kind of mood lighting, if you want to put it in that terms. But yeah, very good. So, and it gets brighter, has a SOS sort of function as well. So pretty cool. I actually like that better than the little round lights they used to do. I think this is way better than those ones. Got another vent here on the side. Got your AC input. Obviously, yeah, you got your little rubber covers. Got your DC input for your car charging and also your solar panels. So it also has a little rubber plug to protect it. Got your separate protector just there. And then you also have a ground wire if you want to connect it to the ground for safety. You can also do that as well. So coming back around to the front, got your DC output just there for your cigarette lighter, standard sort of sockets and stuff you want to use. You do have your two AC 600 watt inverter in this bad boy. So you got your two Aussie connections just there, pure sine wave inverter. Got USB-C 100 watt just there. Also got USB-A standard to charge all your older devices that aren't USB-C. So you got two of them and 100 watt them. So you got your power on button just here. So as like all the Bluetti products, really nice front display just here. Got your DC button to turn on your DC outlets, which are these ones. Then you hold the AC button down to turn on your 2 front AC outlets. And then on the top of the unit, you do have a 15-watt wireless charging. One thing I love about the Bluettis is nearly all their units, I'm pretty sure, have wireless charging on the top, so you can just drop your phone straight there and it'll automatically start charging, which is really, really good. Another feature on the AC60 is this really nice carry handle, so you can walk around with it. But again, it's not heavy at all. So as far as charging the AC60, you have 3 options available to you. So you can do solar, in-car charging, and also either generator charging or 240 outlet at home, whatever you prefer. So, and a good thing is it actually comes with the cables. So you've got the car charger just here. So in the AC60 12 24 volt cigarette lighter port, you can charge this. Then you can also use the solar. So you've got like I think these are called MC4 from memory, or basically PV connectors, but you could probably, with us here in Australia, most of us guys chop them off, put on an Anderson plug to run most of your other panels if you wanted to, and then it just connects into the side, so you can run solar into this thing. Input power is 200 watts maximum that you can run into the AC60, so 200 watts of solar. And then you also have your 240 volt plug, so it's really good that all this stuff now comes with the Bluetti and giving you plenty of options, whether you're in your vehicle, if you've got a solar panel on your 4-wheel drive and you just want to run the solar straight into it while you're driving. It's just having this little power pack instead of having a big system like I do in the F250. If you just want a basic sort of setup, you could have this strapped down in the back of your 4-wheel drive, throw a strap over it, have your solar panel on your roof rack or on the roof of your tent, run your solar straight into this, and you could run your fridge and all sorts of things directly off this unit, which is really, really good, but giving you all the cables now to choose how you want to charge it. So putting the AC60 in terms for us 12 volt guys that have a camping setup, we obviously go off amp hours, because that's how we always calculate our setup is via amp hours and how many amps our equipment's drawing. So this is 403 watt hours, which according to my calculations is about 35 amp hours or something, about that sort of size. So it's about a 35 amp hour battery. And remember that you also do have the capacity to increase it, but you also have a built-in 600 watt inverter in this bad boy as well. But you can increase it with those 2 extra B80 batteries if you wanted to buy this to start with and then increase your capacity. You can definitely do that. Okay, so here we have the B80 battery, which is 806.4 watt hours, probably about 70 amp hours, something around that, of capacity that you have in here. So between the pair of them, you've got over 100 amp hours of capacity. This is the cable that it comes with as well. So basically it's a quick kind of snap lock-in fitting, as you can see there. So we'll hook this up in a second. I'll show you how it works. You can charge this as well via DC or your solar panels as well as the AC60. So you can charge from just there with your car. You've got your power indicator just here. So you've got battery indicator, which is really nice. So obviously you've got your full screen on the AC60. The battery is just giving you a percentage of where you're at. So right now I'm sitting at 80% here on this. So you only have DC on the B80 battery. You don't have the inverter, but you have your DC outlets just here. So you have an 18 watt USB-A and a 100 watt USB-C, and then also have your cigarette socket just here, which is super handy. So if you're going to have the AC running in the canopy, then you might grab the B80 battery, move it to somewhere else around camp under a gazebo or something like that to run camp lights, or even bringing that into the tent. You got the AC60 running the fridge overnight. Bring the B80 into the tent with you, into the swag, charge your phones, things like that. So dive into a bit more of the B80. So around the side here, you also have obviously the expansion port for your cable to run from this battery to the AC60. So you do have a bleed valve there. Coming around the back, you've got your handle, same as what you do on the AC60, pretty much exactly the same handle. You do not have a light in the back of the battery, which is unfortunate. That would have been good to have a light in the battery. And it would have been nice to see a wireless charge pad on the top of this unit as well. That would have been really handy. but everything else is pretty good. Being able to charge this on its own, and then being able to move this obviously into your swag and stuff to charge your phones overnight. But yeah, some other little features on this would have been great. You can use the optional accessories that you get with your AC60 on the B80 as well. So whether it's the car charger or the PV input, you can buy other chargers and stuff from the Bluetti website as well if you wanted to have a wall charger and stuff for this unit. And this one weighs about 9.9 kilograms, obviously more battery. It's a little bit heavier than what the AC60 is, even though the AC60 is slightly larger. It does have a smaller battery capacity, so the B80 is a little bit heavier, about 1 kilo heavier. I actually have not charged these together yet. I've been using them separately. I'm going to connect the bottom one into the B80 battery. So basically they just slide, push them in, and they lock in. Very nice, satisfying click. So I'm now going to plug both of these in together. I'm running these off my 2600 watt inverter. We're going to plug these paired together and actually see if they start charging with each other. Again, I've been charging them separately from solar panels. So I've just plugged it in. You can obviously hear my inverter's now kicked in. So the input right now is 535 watts. And we are also charging the B80 battery. So yes, when you do connect the AC60 via 240 volt, you will be charging your B80 at the same time. So with the B80 battery, what I'm going to do now is use the car charger. I'm going to plug it into my system up here. So we're going to see if they both charge at the same time. So we can go straight there into the side of the AC60, and we're going to plug this into the power system I have in here in the F-Truck. And we are charging at 96 watts coming into the unit. So that's the AC60 is currently charging through the 12 volt. And we are also charging the B80 battery with the 12 volt as well. Very good. So I have tested the solar input the other day. I had it running off the 2 panels that I have on the rooftop tent. I think I got around 130 watts coming in to the unit. It's been pretty cloudy and raining for the past couple of days, so it's been hard for me to actually get a good reading with the solar. Most of the time I've just been charging it through the 12 volt in the truck, or also 240 at home. I haven't done a lot of solar charging, but yeah, it was around 120 watts that I was getting. But again, solar really depends on the conditions, and unfortunately the conditions for me of the past couple of months when I've had time to get out, most of the time it's been raining, unfortunately. So, but solar works great with the AC60 as well. Okay, so I've done our software upgrades now on the app. So battery information, say to charge 85% systems. So we have the battery pack here, number 1, in parallel right now. So we're charging that at the same time as we're charging our AC60. So obviously there's no watts coming in from the grid, but let's swap that out. We'll take off the PV now and we'll put into the grid power and see how that works. So you've got your PV in, you've grid in, you've got your 0 watts of AC going out, 5 watts of DC. So my final thoughts on the AC60 and the B80 battery is that this is seriously a system that I would consider putting in my 4-wheel drive. If I was buying my first 4-wheel drive, or if I had a van style camping setup, I think this is the way that I would go instead of doing this hard powered install, because when the hard power install, it's just such a mission to take the stuff back out, where this I could expand with another B80 battery, have them stacked together, put one strap over the whole lot, and then have a massive capacity there, especially for a new style of setup, but then also be able to split them and take the B80 to another part of the camp where I want to charge some camera stuff, or if I want to take it to the beach for the day, I don't have to take the whole AC60. I can simply take the B80 battery. I can do some camp lights under a gazebo and things like that, but then also be able to retain the value of it instead of putting it into my canopy and then having it hardwired. It's kind of like if you sell it, it kind of just goes with it. This, you don't have to do that. You can have it strapped down in your canopy. Everything is on the face now with the new Bluettis. I really like that. But then just being able to, if you sell the setup, you can take it with you, retain the value of what you've already invested in it. I would like to see an Anderson somewhere in the system, because a lot of us, when we're forward driving and touring, overlanding, all the rest of it, We like to use Anderson plugs because they're a very firm connection. If you simply run your fridge in a socket like this, and if you're on rough kind of terrain, tends to vibrate out, come loose, fall out, and then your fridge stops. And then you've got if you're driving for 3 hours and don't realize it, you could get to camp and not have cold beer, and that would be very much a disappointment. So yeah, if Bluetti could give us some sort of accessory that would allow us to integrate an Anderson plug into these units to plug a fridge or something directly into it.